Welcome back to Grace Nicole Myths, Astrology and Tarot. We are here for a timeless message, right? Cards and divine time. I was pulled to do a reading for, well, someone. I think Spirit is going to be guiding me to more of these. So, this is an almost personal reading. Let me know if it resonates by dropping a like on the video, leaving a comment, like, for real. Let me know if this hits home. So it's going to be set up like a person one, person two reading. And make sure that you are not forgetting to take care of your energy and smudge from toxic auras. Okay, we're talking about people who live in fear and worry and anxiety and deception and things like that. Like, make sure that you are keeping your energy clear of their shit, that you're not taking it personal and making it your own. Make sure you're using your sage and your Palo Santo and your crystals and whatever other incense you use to stay clear. All right. Right now I'm burning some myrrh incense, and I've got my blue desert sage lit. And I'm telling you also, and if anybody that you're dating or near or with or deal with, whatever, has like major issue with sage and things like that, rain check. Rain check. Really consider how much you want them in your life, because you know what? They might be an NPC. They might not be a real player in the game, okay? They might be an NPC, so just keep it in mind. All right. I'm using my Icarus Tarot to get an idea of the milestone energy for each person. And this could be someone in your reality currently. It could be someone who was in your reality at some point that is still taking up your mental and emotional, psychological energy space. It could be someone that you're just kind of talking to but not really seeing. So take it however it resonates for you. I feel like this is going to be for a very specific niche of people, okay? So this may or may not be your reading. If it is not for you, but you know someone whose reading it is, by all means, send it their way. Send it their way. Be like, yo, Spirit had me cross this message to send it to you because you would have never caught it otherwise. So you're welcome. Go be an earth angel for somebody, right? If you know this is their fucking message. So, Spirit, please. Let's get some energies. Who is person one and who is person two? Who is person one and who is person two? Ooh. That's interesting. Not being told to keep it. Wow. All right, so one person is the Hermit. Okay, probably someone who is very much doing their own thing. Ooh, we got the Devil on the bottom. And the Lovers on top. All right, so theme. Theme. Probably got a toxic ex. Or someone who has great, great, great potential and is just totally being the devil's bitch, okay? We've got the Hermit, and then we've got Ritual with the High Priestess and the Hierophant and the World card. This is someone with seriously fixed energy. Someone who is intuitive and empathic, but probably is more like what I would consider a dark empath. They use the fact that they read people very well for manipulative reasons. And someone who's in need of taking out the mice. Let's look at this Hierophant card. He's literally in this hand holding up a dead mouse. Getting rid of the mice. Now, mice, symbolically, right, are people in your life who steal your energy out from under your nose and make a mess of your pantry or your energy stores. And you don't even realize what a fucking mess they're making. This is someone or someones who are draining your energy. Whether they're draining your finances, draining your mental capacity, where your thoughts are constantly consumed with either making sure they're happy, making sure that their demands are met, making sure their expectations are met, right? People who are mentally draining you. It could be people who are emotional draining. They need a lot of support. They need someone to lean on often. They don't actually take your best advice, though. You know, these are people who are upset or sad or whatever, but don't actually do anything to better their emotional state. They just constantly lean on you and crutch off you and drain you emotionally. And then there are people who are psychologically fucking you and using you. Right? And that's a spiritual energy drain. People who are manipulative, who don't actually fucking care, but are acting like they're your friend or your ally when they're benefiting from it in some way and or going to hold things against you at some point. Okay? With the ritual card here, with the ritual card there. And it's interesting because we have the two skulls mirroring. Just like we have the two skeletons here mirroring on the Lover's card. We have two entangled individuals. It's almost as if the lovers are merging. So whoever person number 2 is either someone that you have prayed for, someone that you have done ritual over. And I'm not talking about, you know, love spells and shit. Bring this person to me. I am 100% against love magic and spell work that tries to manifest an individual to someone. I feel like it's a complete infringement on free will. And so this ritual, if it's coming from me as a reader, would be ritual that was done or you participated in it for the intention of healing. Okay, that this person would be happy with or without you in their life. Okay, we are not talking about infringing on free will, but ritual that would essentially pray for the healing of someone. Okay, not infringing on free will. So this is most likely someone that you have done some kind of intention holding for. Whether that's prayer, because prayers are intentions, whether that's candles, because candles are intentions, or if you've done, you know, or maybe you've given them a fucking protection bag. Who knows? Maybe you actually gave them herbs and crystals or some shit in a sachet. You know what I mean? It's some kind of ritual where steps were taken and things were put together in order to serve this person's soul cleansing, healing, and protection. We're talking about a high-aligned ritual that is essentially working on their integration. It's working on their integration. Mind you, there's daggers behind each of these lovers' backs. They're both afraid that one is going to stab the other in the back, and so they're both on guard. They're both looking very keenly at each other and, you know, mingling hands here, but they're both afraid that the other is going to hurt them. They were dealing with the devil at the time. Now, one person is on a solo mission, And one person is going through integration. They're learning to recognize the mirror, especially when they're not facing their other counterpart individual, because these two skulls are technically facing away from each other. This is someone who might have a seriously hard time right now integrating. But they have mice in their reality. They're highly intuitive. They already fucking know what they're supposed to do, because this high priestess is pointing at the book, the Akashic book, the book of life, right? Our soul's life. They already know what they're supposed to do. They probably already know that they're connected to this person in a very deep way. And something needs to come to a close, and it's probably their old version. The old version of them that is attached to this devil energy that's manifesting a tower. Yup, it's manifesting a tower. Okay, Spirit's working magic. We got the magician under that. Give me some insight, please, Spirit. Let's get back to this person in just a second. All right, because this person has a lot going on. They probably also have really stubborn people around them, very emotional people around them, and very money-minded people around them. Matter of fact, that might be the Three Stooges that are in their reality right now. Absolutely the Three Stooges. One is all about money. One is super fucking emotionally needy. And one is extremely stubborn and fixed and pretending like they don't see or hear anything. I'm just going to ignore my reality and pretend it's not awful. And detach and not do anything to fix it. Right? So they got three people here. 3 people that are around them in the reality that are strongly influencing them. There may be more than that, but they've got 3 people who are strongly influencing them. So what is going on? Spirit, give me some insight into this Hermit energy. All right, give me some insight into this Hermit energy. This is someone who has gone down into the depths of themselves with the light of wisdom, the lantern that this deep sea creature is holding has an owl in it. The actual lantern is lit with an owl. This is wisdom. They have taken wisdom down into their dark places and have shown wisdom there. All right, this is someone who moves effortlessly through the depths, through the dark night, because they are using wisdom and spirit, because they're holding a wand. The Hermit is holding the wand or the staff. And they're moving through the dark night with spirit and wisdom. Okay, this is a solo flying person who has most likely separated themselves from other people and or other people's energies. Okay, if they're dealing with people on a regular basis, they have become energetically sovereign. Their energy is not affected by other people. Their mood does not change because of other people in their reality. They're not offended by other people. They can give 2 fucks, right? Someone's having a bad day. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Doesn't mean I'm going to have a bad day with you. Oh, you're super excited. That's great. You know, you have everything I'm working towards having and you have it now. Good for you. This person's not upset, right? Energetically sovereign means they're in control of their own energy. No one else's energy dictates the way they feel. No one else's choices dictate the way they feel. This person is sovereign. Solo and sovereign. Okay. So what is going on with that? What's going on in their life? What insight can we get, Spirit, for the Hermit, before we dive balls deep into the integrating one over there, who is probably seriously finding some fucking truth with, you know, the light blue card. There's only a couple of them in this deck, and they got one. Light blue is all about throat chakra truth energy. What's going on with the Hermit, please, Spirit? The 3 of Swords in the reverse. Ooh, when I tell you this person doesn't feel anything, like, their energy is not affected, they are not fucking heartbroken. The Lord of Sorrow, the 3 of Swords in the reverse. This person is not beat up about not being around this other person. They are not beat up about it at all. they could take it or leave it, I'm sure. And or they've completely healed the heartbreak of it. What else, Spirit? Give me some more insight into this Hermit. Nine of Cups. They're working on some soul wish. And probably focusing on material happiness, because the Nine of Cups in this particular deck is the Lord of material happiness. You see it written at the bottom of the card. This is Jupiter and Pisces energy. This is the Three of Swords, the Lord of Sorrow. That is Saturn Libra energy, and they've got that in reverse. This is karmic partnerships. They have let that shit go. Okay? If this person was at some point lost in the devil's energy with this person, they were lost in that dark place together, Hermit has escaped it. Okay? Hermit has escaped the sorrow, the sadness, the depression, the feeling helpless, hopeless type bullshit energy. This person is going through a spiritual blessing within the self, and it's manifesting as material happiness. What else? What else is going on with the Hermit? Like, even the deck I'm using, the Hermetic Tarot, I think this person is very black and white. I think you see exactly what you get with this person. I don't think there is any front. I don't think there's any bullshit, any fluff, any pretty painted picture. I think it's just I think they're very straightforward. I think they're very straightforward, very black and white, very easy to read. There's no guise. There's nothing there's nothing about them trying to make who they are prettier than what they are, or downplay themselves. Like, this person, I feel like they very much know who they are. Queen of Wands could be a fiery energy or a fiery feminine. They came up the last time, the Queen of Wands, where I was doing a person 1, person 2 reading. So the group of people, the niche that I'm reading for when I do these cards, we definitely have a very fiery feminine energy. This is someone who does as they're guided, because the Queen of Wands is the suit of fire is soul, right? Wands is the suit of fire, is the suit of spirit and soul, and the Queen is feminine energy. It's receiving energy. This person is in touch with receiving their spirit, or receiving the desire of their soul. This person has one focus, and it's not feeling upset. This person, the Hermit, is on their own, energetically sovereign, focusing on their Nine of Cups, their wish granted in the material world, and doing as they're guided in alignment with their soul's desire, what they're trying to manifest. So this person, the Hermit, is on a mission. Give me more clarity. What Three of Swords have they released? What heartbreak have they released? Spirit, please. This Hermit energy. Ooh. They let go of an upside down empress who was unwilling to change, because the Two of Pentacles is the Lord of harmonious change, and the Empress is the daughter of the mighty ones. And these two cards are in the reverse. So this was a heart space, right? A high feminine energy who was lost in the shadow. They were unwilling to change in order to create harmony. And that's what they're not upset over. That's the Three of Swords they've released. They are not butthurt about the wounded and or toxic state of person number two's heart space. If they're of the mindset that if they've released this, if person number two's heart was poisoned, it's not their fucking problem or job to be the antidote. Person number two is going to have to figure out how to become their own antidote and heal their hurt receiving energy. Because this is, the Empress is the highest receiving or highest feminine energy there is. And they're extremely intuitive. And they heed their intuition. So if this is referring to person number two, then person number one was not dealing with someone who was not listening to their soul, who was not discerning, who was buying into the devil's bullshit, and who was unwilling to change. Someone who was so stuck in their own ways that they couldn't see essentially the lover right in front of them. They couldn't see it. So the Hermit was out. Right? The Hermit was out. What's the Nine of Cups? What's the wish fulfillment they're working on? The Two of Wands, the Lord of Dominion. This person is working on, I just heard, staking their claim in soul. Okay, so the wish fulfilled, Jupiter and Pisces energy, Aries, Mars energy. This person is future oriented because the Two of Wands is all about looking at the future. They might be where they are now because the Two of Wands is about a pause where you are now. But I feel like they're absolutely building to bring that Nine of Cups to the Ten of Cups. Give me some more insight into the Queen of Wands energy that they're holding. Ooh, clarify that further. What is the Nine of Swords? I already got a feeling what the Knight of Pentacles is. Why is the Nine of Swords out here? I think this person got tired of waiting. They got tired of waiting for commitment. The way the Queen of Wands feels, because the Nine of Swords is the Lord of cruelty and despair, and it came out with the Knight of Pentacles. This is a very slow-moving knight. It's the slowest moving knight in the deck. It is the one least likely to communicate, and a knight that is so cautious that they do not make moves when they should. It's also someone who overthinks themselves into fucking oblivion and misses doors of opportunity that Spirit presents to them because they're probably constantly overanalyzing and worrying about what ifs. Terrified of being hurt. This is someone with the Three of Coins here, the Lord of material work, that was not putting in the work. And I think this Queen of Wands once desired this energy to commit, to put in the work. Mars and Capricorn to take initiative. Mars and Gemini. Virgo energy. We have Capricorn multiple times here. So you might have a Capricorn 7th house, or they might have, your person might have strong, significant Capricorn placements. We got a lot of earth energy here. Placements and signs, we have Libra, we have Pisces, we've got Aries, we've got Capricorn, we've got Gemini, and we've got Virgo, and we've got Venusian energy, potentially Taurian energy, and possibly more Libra energy. All right, so they would be the houses at play in your own birth chart, or the energies that are interacting with them. I feel like the Queen of Wands with this Mars and Gemini went to war against the nightmare, went to war against the shadow, and committed themselves to being more careful moving forward. I think the Hermit's desire is to not end up disappointed again. I think that they were really deep. King of Cups on the top of the deck. I think they were deep. I think they were sincere. I think they were looking at the other person's demons in the face and got pissed. Because that king is scowling at the snake. And he's got birds protecting him. He's got the albatross and the eagle. The albatross and the eagle, and he himself has wings. This King of Cups, if that is the conscious energy, the actual energy of the Hermit on top of the deck, this person was deeply emotional, probably deeply committed, was divinely protected, had super large divine energy, and was staring the fucking snakes down. More Mars energy. Whatever your Mars placement is, if you are dealing with that sign, or that's the sign of the person you're thinking of, then this reading is absolutely for you. In concern to that person, because that's where your Mars placement is. Because we've got 1, 2, 3 cards specifically linked to Mars now. And then we have 2 Aryan cards. I know 1, 2, 3, 4 Mars cards and 2 Aryan cards, which is linked to Mars. So lots of Mars energy. So whatever house you have that Mars is in, right? If your Mars is in your Libran house, if your Mars is in your Scorpionic house, if your Mars is in your Piscean house, wherever your Mars is, I guarantee you you're going to war with someone who has that sign. Oh yeah. Or someone who has really strong or significant placements in that sign. I would almost guarantee you that. And there is a serious issue, right? Wow. 5 of Cups with the Devil underneath again. They fucking matter. The Hermit learned that lesson. They saw the different perspective with the Hanged Man under that. The Moon under that. Yo, they are not keen on secrets. They see right through it. They see right through it. They have learned that lesson about equal give and take and their worth. They have reinvented themselves and seen a higher perspective. Okay, the Hermit, whoever the Hermit is, they're no fucking joke. Okay, getting into this person's energy, they can't even touch this person's energy. They really can't. I would not be surprised if these two are not in the same reality. If they're in 2 completely different realities. Because obviously this person is dealing with a lot of karmic energy around them. And this person is energetically sovereign. So this person, it's not possible for this person to actually be in this person's world right now. They're not energetically aligned. The Hermit left the energy of the ritual behind. This person probably has some seriously bad habits that are detoxifying out of their spiritual system. Spirit, give me some insight into the second person here. Give me some insight into the second person. Really. This person is a fire and water, masculine, feminine, yin yang, balanced type energy. Energetically sovereign. What is going on with person number 2? Because obviously it still fucking matters. If you're resonating as person number 1, person number 2 is soulfully tied to you in some which way, shape, or form in this life. The 10 of Coins. The 2 of Coins. We're getting insight into these people they're dealing with and how they're connected to this person. And the 5 of Cups. Wow. Okay, so the person in their life that is money oriented, they probably share a home with, or have discussed sharing a home with, or are planning to get a home with this person, or have. Okay, this is someone they feel tied to, but I feel like they are an energy drain. Okay? But they're planning and or living with this person. For sure. The second person, the high priestess, or the person who's very emotionally taxing for them, they feel responsible with the Two of Pentacles to bring them from a reality that is not ideal to an ideal emotional state. So they feel personally responsible for making sure this person is okay. They have taken that energy on. The problem is they're fucking juggling and the emotions are actually really turbulent. And the ships can't come in with that crazy water, right? So the more they're juggling with this person and being emotionally invested in this person, they know they're putting off their ships coming in on some intuitive level, they know. The World card, or the really stubborn and detached energy that is pretending not to see anything, not hear anything. They've got nothing to say about it. Maybe they've lost their say, right? Or feel like they can't speak and they're just trying to do the best they can with the situation, is really fucking sad. With the Five of Cups there, this person is really fucking sad. And I think whoever person number 2 is, feels that person's sadness and isn't doing anything about it, to be fair. I feel that person number 2 might also be ignoring the fact that this person's energy is what it is, especially if they are intuitive. Because they're so hell-bent. I feel like person number 2 is so hell-bent on getting this home situation, this living situation in order, that they're using this person here as an excuse to stick around and completely ignoring the fact that the third person that they're dealing with is suffering. They're suffering. This person's suffering. Someone with strong Taurean or Earth energy, someone with strong Piscean or water energy, and someone with strong Aquarian or fixed energy. Give me some more insight, please, into what is going on in the world of this person. Four of Wands. Nine of Cups. Eight of Swords. Damn. Further clarify these cards for me, please, Spirit. There's that Queen of Wands. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so they know the Queen of Wands is their divine counterpart. Okay, that's the Hermit's energy up there. Their wish fulfillment is the commitment. Truly. And the Hermit knows it, right? The Hermit knows it. The Hermit understood. As the Queen of Wands, the Hermit understands the anxiety that this person was having about commitment. And now that these two are not in the same energetic vibration, this person understands that person number 1 is their divine counterpart, twin flame, sacred soulmate, whatever label you want to throw on it. That's their fucking person. Person number 2 is very aware that person number 1 is their person. Their wish is to be committed to person number 1. However, the fucking Eight of Swords is about mental imprisonment, mental entrapment, overthinking, thinking things are impossible, not willing to take the blindfold off and look at themselves in the mirror, that they're not really trapped in the reality that they're in. They're not actually trapped in the reality that they're in, because Spirit would take care of all of these people with or without your person there. If you're person number 1. Spirit will take care of all of these people whether your person is there or not. Your person number 2, has not realized that. Person number 2 feels responsible to chase after a material goal with someone who is feeding off their energy, someone who is emotionally manipulative, whether they consciously are aware that they're doing that or not, and someone who is completely fucking depressed and being ignored. It's not even being looked at. I feel like this person, especially if they are Aquarian, is being completely fucking ignored. Like, oh, they're fine, they're just doing their thing. Or, oh, they're fine, it's no big deal. Oh, they're fine. When they're probably crying out for help with their behavior and nobody's paying attention. Spirit will take care of these people better when person number 2 is no longer dealing with those energies. They're not meant to. Right? They're not meant to. This is karmic. They understand that person number 1 is their counterpart. They know this. They're very aware of it now. If they were in denial before, they're aware of it now because person number 1 dipped and decided to go off into create my own happiness mode, create my own success mode, focus on my future mode, right? Went solo. I said, fuck the loss of pleasure, fuck betrayal, right? All that Mars energy and Scorpionic Aryan energy, fuck betrayal. This person went into full-blown, I am the leader of my life mode. This person is still letting other people lead and control their life. We have an energetically sovereign person and one who is still very energetically tied and manipulated and feeling beholden, or that it's their duty to stick around certain people. But they know that person number 1 is their person, and they know person number 1 is their wish fulfillment. This person, wow, two of wands on the bottom, is also on pause right now because they need to create and or seize an opportunity. I feel like person number 1 is just getting further and further away from person number 2 right now, but person number 2 is going through an integration process to find the truth in their heart space, to look forward and extend a hand, right? To extend a hand in truth in order to go after and achieve their joy. Create their 10 of Cups, right? Because if this is the 10 of Cups on the bottom of their deck, that's what the Hermit's working on. The 10 of Cups. The Hermit might still have faith or hope in this person, but this person is I feel like they're heartbroken and they need to communicate and might be doing it from a confused place, to be really fair. This person might be coming out of the shadows, but they want a full-blown commitment with person number 1. They probably want to marry person number 1 if this is a romantic reading and your divine counterpart, and this is a love reading now, right? They probably see person number 1 as marriage material where they didn't see it before. The problem is they are super fucking trapped in their head because there's truth here. The Ace of Swords is truth here, and I think they're afraid that the truth is going to cause a fight. And so they're avoiding it. They're saying, no, it's impossible because I'd have to tell the truth. For person number, to be in alignment with person number 1, they would probably have to admit some kind of truth. And they're afraid that the truth is going to cause a fight, potentially surrounding children. Or the truth is going to put a child or a younger person at risk, that they would lose this person. But if they don't, they're just going to be begging. They're going to be begging for energetic currency. They're going to constantly be giving and giving and giving and giving and giving to people who are energetic shadows. They're draining, giving to the mice. This person staying trapped in their head, like the river's running dry. The river's running dry. This person is afraid of the truth. They're afraid of the truth. They know the truth. They know this truth. They probably even understand this truth. I think that this Eight of Swords, they're in massive denial of the truth. They're afraid the truth is going to cause fights, and so they're avoiding it at all costs. They don't want to fight with this person and be shot down by this person. They're afraid of the rejection. And they don't want to fight with these people and ruin things with these people if this doesn't work out, because then they're going to lose all their plans, which aren't really their plans anyway, because we know what spirit does when we stay in misalignment. It causes fucking towers. This person is so afraid of losing both that they don't realize that what they're fearing is appearing, and they're going to end up losing both. Because this person is dealing with an Eight of Swords energy, and they're withholding truth to avoid conflict, what's going to happen is they're going to be forced to balance the scales. They're going to be forced to reinvent themselves and balance the scales. I feel like out of fear of losing both, they're going to end up losing both. Because by the time this tower hits for them here, I think the Hermit's going to be too far ahead. Energetically speaking, I think the Hermit's going to be in a different fucking world. They're in a different energy vibration by the time the tower hits for person number 2. If they choose to stay stuck in the mental prison, they choose to stay stuck in the overthinking, in the overanalyzing, the fear state. Well, what if I lose both? What if I go after one and end up losing both? Because these people might have issue with this person. The people in person number 2's reality might have serious issue with this person. And they're trying to make things work with this group of people. But making things work with these people is costing them their divine counterpart. And they're afraid to go after their divine counterpart because it'll probably end up costing them these people. Like, these people might not forgive them for going back to this person or working things out with this person. And then if this falls apart, then they've lost both, and that's their fear. That's their fear, that they're going to lose both. It's probably not accurate. It's a fear, it's a prison, it's a mental prison in the mind. It's a shadow keeping them stuck. It's not actually accurate. People in alignment, you never actually lose them. But this person's going to have a lot of catching up to do. Because I feel like this person's miles ahead by the time this person comes around. They need to reinvent themselves. And they definitely need to just be out with the truth and stop fearing the argument. Because like I said, people in alignment will stick around with the truth. People who are not in alignment, people who are karmic, you tell the truth to someone who's fucking karmic and they repel you, it's because they're fucking karmic. The truth does not repel people in alignment. People in alignment can work with the truth. They can't work with lies. People that are karmic work with lies, work with falsities, and are repelled by the truth. So this person number 2, is straight up living a spiritual lie, convincing themselves that it's going to work, it's going to be fine, when it's obviously not fine. It is not fine. It is not fine. Not fine. That's why this light blue card, that truth energy, I was telling you about it, the throat chakra, that truth energy, the truth has to come out. The truth has to come out. All right, Spirit, let's pull just a few more here. What's the possible outcome? What is the possible outcome of these two people when they continue on the paths that they're currently on? What is the outcome for these two people should they continue on the paths that they are currently on? If nothing were to change and they were to stay in their lanes, what is the outcome for these two people? The Sun Shell. The 12 of Earth. We have the Self, or the 14th card, Major Arcana in the reverse. The King of Earth in the reverse. The 9 of Fire. The 11 in the Major Arcana, which is healing. And the 9 of Air, just like the 9 of Swords. The Seneschal is like the Knight of Earth. But this is someone who holds all the keys. Okay, there's keys hanging from both ears. There's a sort of truth on the third eye. Both of them are going to know the fucking truth and have the keys to unlock whatever it is between the two of them. But they're not going to be in true alignment. They're not going to manifest their highest manifestation without each other. They might be able to manifest quite a lot, but it's not going to be of their highest manifestation, okay? Because if these are truly divine counterparts, the highest manifestation comes from being in alignment with each other and moving forward, right, in alignment together. The 9 of Fire is a wounded healer or wounded warrior energy. This is the Justice card. So Justice as far as numerology goes with the 11, but it's technically like the Hermit card. Because he's walking through with a staff and he's an older man. So there's a lot of wisdom that needs to be taken into account. And then we got the 9 of Swords. There's that nightmare anxiety type energy. I think they're both going to have a lot of anxiety being apart, to be fair, if I'm going to call it like I see it. They're not going to reach the highest manifestation that they could possibly reach. Because there is an optimal or ideal manifestation, like the actual purpose of why y'all are here. There is the highest manifestation. And then there's the max that you can manifest on your own without your counterpart. So I believe that is why person number 2 is going through such an integration. Hermit's already on their way and moving in whatever direction they're moving. Not being energetically manipulated or influenced by anybody. They're just moving on their way. Probably waiting for person number 2 to do the same thing. And they're having anxiety about it, right? Because I think they are aware. I think they are aware. So then what is the possible outcome between these two? Should they end up reconnecting? Should the truth come out and the proper steps be taken? What is the outcome between these two when they move into alignment with each other, their highest alignment with each other? Mind you, there is no other commitment to any other partnership. There's no other love cards here. So both of these people will probably end up single or spiritually non-committed to whoever they're fucking with. If they're fucking with anybody, right? It will not be the deep connection that they have with each other. because there's no partnership cards there. Ooh. Three of Earth is the first card out for should they end up realigning. The Three of Earth is the commitment. It's the planting of the acorn that grows into the oak tree. Literally. He is planting acorns. It is the Nine of Water, which is the wish fulfillment, right? It was the wish fulfillment that they both had, that Nine of Water. Faith, which is a special major arcana specific to this deck. That's that albatross energy. Wolf energy. We're talking alphas. They're going to be in their alpha energy. And sea turtle, which symbolically is longevity. They got their wings on. They're in their earth angel energy. And the Nine of Earth. Abundance. I can't make this shit up. We pulled cards for apart outcome and together outcome. This connection requires thought. And higher perspective with the top and bottom of the deck. I think the Hermit might have their guard up around person number 2. And I think person number 2 is going to have to understand why person number 1 has their guard up and override it. Like, you can't give up in the face of rejection. Like, if person number 2 were to actually reach out and person number 1 is still moving forward and not keen on them because they haven't taken enough steps or proved enough yet to prove that there's different, right? There's a difference. Because person number 1 was afraid that this person has a poisoned heart who didn't want to change. That this person was not willing to create harmonious change. That they were in discord and disharmony. Person number 2 is probably going to have to really show person number 1 that they have in fact changed. That's going to require truth. It's going to require effort. It's definitely going to require them to continue to make effort without being discouraged. Overriding insecurities. Overriding overthinking. It might be something they're seriously learning. They got to think about what future they really want. Because without each other, they probably are going to stay on their own paths and not actually be committed in soul and or happy with anybody else. And that's just the cards. Yeah, look at that. The masculine and feminine is underneath. It's fucking wild. We're talking masculine healing here. Masculine energy. And it doesn't necessarily mean male. It can, but it doesn't necessarily mean male. The masculine energy is the ability to act in alignment. And that reflection is healing. You have to be able to act in alignment. Person number 2 is going to have to be willing to create that abundance with person number 1. Be willing to commit and essentially marry person number 1 in soul, in heart, right? When I say marry person number 1, that person number 2 would have to marry person number 1, I mean consider them always. Consider them as an equal. Look towards growing a really strong tree, right? Whether that's a strong family tree or just putting down really firm roots. This is something that's going to need time to grow into its abundance, into its wish fulfillment, into its it's going to require faith. And it's the masculine that's planning it here. Person number one can't be so indignant that they would be completely unwilling to allow person number two opportunity to present their growth. You know what I mean? Person number one can't be so hell-bent on remembering the toxicity or the poisoned heart aspect of person number two, the nightmare that this person will never heal. Those thoughts can't let that perpetuate to the point that they do not allow person number two to actually show that they're integrating, to actually show or prove that they're healing, right? To allow person number two to take the steps that would be required of them to prove they're committed to the future with person number one. That they're committed in soul, that there is no other that comes before their counterpart. There has to be commitment. There is no other on the earth more important than the commitment you have to your counterpart, because from that commitment, from the solidity and the roots of that commitment, everything else grows, everything else flourishes. If the two of them are not solid together, then nothing else is truly solid. There will always be what ifs. There will always be the one that got away. There will always be the disappointment of things not manifesting the way it could have, should have, would have. There will always be that wounded warrior energy. Because I did say person number one went to fucking war with the demons in person number two. The problem with person number one that they might be having or will have in the future is not going to war, diminishing the light coming out and from person number two as it's found. Person number two might have been lost in such shadow at some point that person number two went full-blown war with them and said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going and being energetically sovereign. I declare myself sovereign. Your energy and no one's energy is going to affect me. It's all fucking shadow. The issue that person number one would have is if person number two starts to find their light, starts to shine their light, and completely shoots it out the fucking sky. Sends them back into the fucking dark. And shooting themselves into the dark with it. There has to be some type of healthy boundary that is acceptable for these two to grow from. A healthy boundary that needs to be understood and respected by both parties. And it has to start with commitment. It has to start with truth and commitment. In order for this wish fulfillment to take place, it has to be based off the truth. It has to. King of Swords on top, the King of Air. It has to. You got to be in alignment. Like, thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Like, you can't be taking one for granted or using the other for certain things. Like, you can't. You have to commit to being in light with each other, or it's just simply going to fall apart every time. And if you can both accept every time it falls apart that you got to try again, great. Don't get discouraged or lost in mental prisons. You know what I mean? Pick yourself up and try again. Give it another shot. Tweak yourself. Grow a little bit. Go deep within. See where things could have been chosen better. See what choices were made from fear. See what truth was being withheld. Come out with it. Make different choices, right? And try again. But if you think you're going to do the same thing over and over and over again and get a different result, you're fucking crazy, right? That's insanity, right? You can't do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a wonderful result if it's been fucking shit every time you've done it. Whatever the behavior is that is causing separation in your reality, that is causing towers in your reality, is it the belief that you can get away with lying? Is it the belief that you can get away with manipulations? Is it the belief that you can call someone a fucking cheater when they're not? Or be a cheater and try and pretend you weren't? You can't. You have to be able to see the truth for what it is and commit to the truth and discern when other people in the world are energetically trying to steal your fucking energy and put you into a state of separation. Because twin flames, divine counterparts, sacred soulmates, they deal with that. It is literally them against the world and them against their own inner fucking demons, because the inner reflects in the outer. And until you get a hold of your inner demons and you control them and you tell them to shut the fuck up and you're dealing with your light and staying in your light and your shadow ain't worth a damn because it manifests bullshit, until you've reached that point where you know dang right well you will never fucking lie again, because every time you lie it backfires and blows up in your face, until you reach the point where you can't be anything but transparent, because if you're not transparent and honest with your partner, you're keeping secrets and secrets blow up in your face. Like, you got to get to that point where you are so dead set on being in alignment in the higher perspective that you can't be swayed. That the mice of the world, that the energetically, emotionally draining people of the world are not dictating the reality anymore. That's what it's got to come down to in order to reach the highest manifestation that there is. So I'm going to pull a quick reminder before I wrap this up from my Remember deck. It's the Power of Love deck by James Van Brugge. You got fucking spiritual priorities. You got spiritual priorities. Energetically aligned priorities. Remember, you understand the paramount importance of manifesting love in all situations. Truth is love. Compassion is love. Understanding is love. Accepting why people do what they do is love. Accepting that people haven't done certain things that you've accused them of is love. Accepting your own faults is love. Accepting that you're learning is love. Investing in commitment with another is love. Loyalty in soul and honoring in soul to your divine counterpart is love of them and yourself. You have spiritual priorities. Lying is not your priority. Greed is not your priority. Your living arrangements are not your priority. Depressed people who are not taking your fucking advice, they're not your priority. Your priority is your truth. Your priority is your dynamic. Your priority is your commitment. You have spiritual priorities. Period. So whatever the fuck has wounded you in the past, whether it's other people or each other, you're gonna have to find the lessons in that shit and be grateful. You're gonna have to find the lessons in the reality that you have and take it forward with you. The lessons that you've learned with you. Maybe person number one is learning they are fully capable of manifesting and creating and being independent on their own without their partner. And when their partner comes back, they have to remember they're energetically sovereign, they're independent, they don't actually need to be codependent on their partner. They have to remember that lesson. And person number two is probably learning commitment issues and learning how to be self-secure by taking higher aligned actions and not living in a space of lies or deception. Or having other people's energy interfere and be more important than their connection with their counterpart and what is going on with their counterpart. You got priorities. So, that said, guys, I hope whoever needed this message got it in divine time. Person number one or person number two, please take all of the advice and guidance and understanding that you can from these messages. When spirit guides me to do things like this, there's always a fucking reason, and it certainly isn't to be ignored or denied. You know? Like, spirit doesn't have me do this shit for my health. It does it because I'm committed to a healed world, and it starts with the self. It starts with each of you. So, Focus on your healing. My love and support is there for your healing always. You guys have a wonderful morning, day, night, wherever you are in the world. And know that there's a lot to be grateful for. A lot. And if you can look at all the different experiences that you've had in your life, distant, recent, present, as tools that Spirit has given you to reflect upon, so that you can heal yourself and be in your highest alignment with your counterpart at the end of the day, that serves the highest purpose. I have faith you'll reach it. Whether it's this life or the next. We're all going to get there in the end. Divine alignment, divine timing, it's just a matter of choice. Divine timing is just a matter of alignment, and alignment is just a matter of choice. You could be happy when this happens or when that happens, or you could choose to be happy now. You can choose to put your happiness in the hands of other people. Well, if they do this, then I'll do that. Or if they do this, then this can happen. Or you could just choose to do whatever you need to do to create it. Who's in control? You or other people? Who's creating your life? You or other people? Who's writing your story? You or other people? Right? You're the creator here. You're the creator here in this life. You're watching me on this channel. I am just a mere reflection of a facet of you already know exists. And I'm telling you something you already fucking know. I'm just validation for you. I'm just a person in your mirror. A facet of your spirit. Just being present. You got what it takes. Don't be the devil's bitch. Fuck that. Don't be the devil's bitch. I love you guys. I'll see you again soon. Mwah.